For today's video, I'll speak about a few defenders for Supercoach 2022. So basically, I'll say three defenders that I think I'll most likely pick, and three defenders that I won't go near during the preseason. So I think we'll start off with players that I will not pick. So the first player for me is James Sicily. So we're expecting Sicily to be around between 400 and 440k, depending if he gets a 20 or 30% discount. Not really sure how that works, but we'll see what happens. But regardless of his price, I'm not interested in Sicily. So for a number of reasons. So first of all, I think the Hawthorn defence, you could say stacked, I guess. There's a lot of players that can play that role. Scrimshaw, CJ can sort of play it. Not as good defensively, but MP rebounds as well. Maybe Day has to go on a wing, plus Bramble as well. So they have a lot of players they want to give the ball to. And quite a few players that can take kickouts as well. So he could lose a few kickouts. And in an interview in the preseason, actually no, I think it was way back in August or something like that, talking about his recovery, he was saying that he's not even sure what his role is going to be in 2022. So that's the biggest red flag. So plus his durability is not the best either. So for me, Sicily is an absolute trap and a half. So I could see the pick doing well early, but long term, not for me. The next player I will not pick is Luke Ryan. So Luke Ryan does have the high ceiling, but again, it's a durability issue with him. I think Hayden Young, I'm not sure if he'll play defense or midfield, but I think he's probably better suited to defense for now, to be honest, but that's just me. Durability is an issue. Just that's basically it, really. So hopefully, I think Fremantle should have a better year this year, but just unsure how many points Young, because they did. I think if Young does play defense, he'll take more kickouts than Ryan. So he'll lose a few points there, and again durability. So Luke Ryan, not for me. And the third player that I will not touch it's probably an obvious one, but Tom Stuart. So I don't know how to say it, lymphatic disc or whatever in his foot, I think. I've butchered that word pretty hard, but this injury, I can't recall a whole lot of players coming back fully fit from this injury. So yeah, it's ended the careers of quite a few players, and it sounds like a very long term. It's probably going to affect his preseason in 2022. So Stuart probably top 3 defender, but unfortunately, not for 2022. I wouldn't plan for him, even if he plays round 1. Preseason won't be good enough. So Sicily's a trap. Luke Ryan's a waste of time, and so is Tom Stewart because of his fully expecting his preseason to hamper him a little bit. Won't be at his peak. But regardless, keep an eye on Stewart. So maybe upgrade during the year. Now, 3 players that I will highly likely pick. Number 1 is Aaron Hall. So we saw Aaron Hall would have been D1 for Supercoach 2022 for 2021 if he was a defender. Actually, if he didn't have those sub and injury games, or concussion game where he got knocked out after taking a shot on goal, it's pretty unlucky there. Durability will be a slight issue with Aaron Hall, but plays a fairly uncontested role. Looks like he's found his groove a little bit finally after all these years in defence. It will be hard not for him to be played back there. So I think the upside with Hall is too hard to pass up. So even potential vice captain option every now and then, but probably got enough of those options in the midfield. So if Hall gets near his, I think it was 115 to 120 somewhere without injury affected games, if he gets near that average, he'll be a great pick. So upside is too good to pass up with Hall. The next player I will definitely pick is Jake Lloyd. So Jake Lloyd, chuck him at D1 or D2, wherever he is, and be done with it. So every year, he's not as expensive this year. We won't be as expensive in 2022. But again, the durability is there, proven history is there. He's only 28, 29. So with defenders, I think they can probably be premiums up until around 31, 32. Or top 6-ish, top 6 standards. So Lloyd seems pretty free. There was not a whole lot of correlation between Dawson and Jake Lloyd after the bye. I think he's because Dawson moved to the wing after the bye, and Lloyd's average stayed the same as it was in the first half of the year, which is interesting. So, yeah, maybe he just averages the same in 2022, which is fine. Just pick him and have a good sleep. The final player that I'll pick is Jordan Ridley. So it was stated when Jake Kelly was brought over to Essendon that Kelly will play the lockdown role to help free up Jordan Ridley so he doesn't have to play that role, play that intercepting role, which he's so good at. We saw it in the finals game against the Dogs. In the first half, he was unbelievable. But yeah, one of the most gifted interceptors, pretty good contested player as well, and one of the best kicks in the league. So Essendon I also expect to have a good year, but there is a lot of points to go around. Hind and Hepp will probably go 90 to 100 again. So, but regardless, I guess it's part of their game style. They use the ball a lot in defence, intercept a lot. So I like the Ridley pick. I think his first 5 or 6 weeks in 2021, I could not believe it. It was unbelievable. So yeah, not owning him then was pretty painful. But don't expect him to go to those sort of heights because Hepp wasn't accumulating as much, and he missed a few games back then. But nonetheless, Jake Kelly I expect to be in the best 22 for Essendon. Not 100% sure. Wasn't super great for Adelaide. Was dropped a few times, but still a solid player. So to wrap up, the 3 players that I'll look to pick are Aaron Hall, Jordan Ridley, and Jake Lloyd. And 3 players I will not touch: James Sicily, Luke Ryan, Tom Stuart. Maybe he's an upgrade target for Stuart, but we'll see. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, and lots more to come soon. So I'll see you guys soon.